him black.
What's wrong?
Daddy's going to do crack.
What?
Daddy's going to do crack.
He what?
He's going to do crack.
Are you serious? Daddy!
Judge just moments ago found that the Department of Homeland Security has been making arrests in Los Angeles immigration raids without probable cause. So she is ordering the department to stop detaining individuals based solely on race, spoken language, or occupation. This is a major decision for the state of California, which has been at the epicenter of a lot of these immigration raids in the last couple of days. And it also comes after the Trump administration has explicitly said that those are the reasons that they might stop and detain, actually arrest people just because they're working at a Home Depot, maybe because they are speaking Spanish, or because they look like they are undocumented. What do you think?
So what the judge, really took the government to task, what I'm quoting, what the federal government would have this court believe in the face of a mountain of evidence presented in this case is that none of this is actually happening. None of what you just described is actually happening. So she basically is calling the government lawyers liars, which when you're an attorney is the worst thing that could happen to you. And she's basically saying there needs to be more due process before you could carry out the acts that you're carrying out. And you can't come and tell me, oh, we're not doing that, because there's quote unquote a mountain of evidence that shows that you are doing it.
Holman was on Fox News this morning and said as much, exactly what this was about, and said that we're going after people who look like criminals. That could be me. I'm brown, and if I'm not wearing my nice sports coat, I'll look kind of shady. That's not how America's supposed to be built.
You look like a Chuck. Look, the Latino Vote podcast. Yeah. Chuck, bruh, if you weren't wearing that hat, I think you was just a white guy. Right? Am I tripping? They're like a white guy to me. I don't know. That's what I think. I don't know. You need other distinguishing features like, playing samba music or
evidence that shows that you are doing it.
Holman was on Fox News this morning and said as much, exactly what this was about, and said that we're going after people who look like criminals. That could be me. I'm brown, and if I'm not wearing my nice sports coat, I'll look kind of shady. That's not how America's supposed to be built. I'll also need to say that after this raid yesterday, that there was a farm worker. We don't know yet their documentation status, but they died. They died because they were getting chased through the fields. Folks who are picking our food. We should be disgusted by this.
Well, look, what you're talking about.
somebody died.
I have heard and know people who've had experiences in parts of the country where they are American citizens, and because they are of Hispanic origin and or speak Spanish, have been stopped and have had their citizenship questioned.
How would you know they speak Spanish? I'm just saying, how would you know somebody speaks Spanish if they're in their car? Or is it because the cops came up to the cops, they pulled him over, and he was speaking Spanish to the cop?
In this case, the consequences are not just questioning. ICE is detaining people, and in this lawsuit, one of the allegations was that some of the people were being denied counsel, that they're not being given an opportunity promptly to prove that they shouldn't be detained. And that's essentially the crux of the matter here.
Yeah, look, the goal should be to arrest and deport illegal immigrants. I mean, again, this is a clash between, I think, some federal judges and who want to slow down the administration that wants to move fast on this. The goal should always be to deport people who've broken our laws. Politically, Arthur's the lawyer, but politically what the administration's trying to do is fulfill the president's campaign promise that he ran on and won, which was, look, I'm going to end this crisis. I am going to take care of this problem. Nobody wants to deal with it. I'm going to deal with it. In the case of this California raid everybody's talking about, you said pick our food. Wasn't it a marijuana farm, and weren't there illegal child migrants there, like child labor?
That's fucked up, man. That's horrible. Chuck, for real, son. That's what we're doing. You leave it out, that raid you're talking about, where they had the underage kids who should not be working there, working in the fields, in illegal crop, basically drug dealing. Come on, man. That's what you're talking about. And the guy didn't get shot. They fell out because they were in no condition to be trying to run. Like, and they were running. Why? Because they were doing illegal shit. And look at him. Not a bit of remorse on his face. Look at him. Oh, shit, you caught me. Looks very guilty there.
The feds go interrupt a marijuana farm with illegal child labor and people are upset about it. I mean, look, I think there's two sides to this story. Some of this aggressive enforcement may be warranted.
So let me just add a little bit of detail to what we're talking about here. I mean, this raid in California at two different ones.
It's making the Democrats look too bad. Let me jump in here real quick and I'll clean this up. I didn't see a need to jump in earlier when Rocha was leaving out important shit, but now that Jennings has decided to score a couple points, let me get in here and try to even the score. And that's what happens all the time, man. People are like, Tim, why do you like Scott Jennings? He's white. Yeah, I know. But he's conservative white. Yeah, I know. But he's an asshole. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's right about a lot of shit. Not everything. He's right about this.
That really resulted in a lot of violence. One person was killed, several others critically injured, according to the United Farm Workers. Let me just read for you, actually, do I have their statement? Yes, let me read for you their statement. It says, the UFW can confirm farm workers were critically injured yesterday in the chaotic raids in Ventura County. Others, including U.S. citizens, remain totally unaccounted for. Many workers, including U.S. citizens, were held by federal authorities at the farm for 8 hours or more. U.S. citizen workers report only being released after they were forced to delete photos and videos of the raid from their phones. NBC actually talked to one of those individuals who was a supervisor at this farm, and who said that they were assaulted and handcuffed when he asked ICE agents for an arrest warrant. As for the children, I don't know that we've really confirmed their status, documented or not, but a lot of people don't know. It's true that in agriculture in this country, it is legal for children to work there, children sometimes as young as 12. So that's the exception that the agricultural industry has. And if these children were undocumented, it just goes to show the economics of this. Yes. Which we've talked about before. The economics of this have been to the benefit of the agricultural industry, of the meatpacking industry, of these other industries, and the people who are being chased around in the fields they're the only ones facing consequences from this.
And that's what I wonder, like the people who are employing some of these undocumented immigrants are not getting prosecuted. Moreover, marijuana is legal in the state of California, so we shouldn't present that like it's something nefarious. I take issue with a little something you said, Chuck. You said without your jacket, or without your hat, you might look shady. Shady to whom? Who gets to decide who looks shady? That is precisely my point.
That was my point.
So the fact that we are even discussing as though it is a normal thing for a government agency to kidnap people without due process. If this person is not a citizen, then nor am I. Who is to stop somebody from coming to grab me and say, well, we don't think you're a citizen?
Yeah, come get her, please. Please go get her, please. Put her in one of those concentration camps she keeps on blabbering about. Come get her right now. Please. I think she's a Latina. Come get her. Don't let her accent fool you. She's an unemployed Latina dealing propaganda and marijuanas.
I don't have due process. My friend Elsa, her son is born here in America. He was detained by ICE. And when you look at the crime overall, undocumented immigrants are the least likely to commit crime.
They do, though. People do. People commit crimes, Tiffany. All types of people commit crimes, Tiffany.
It's been well documented by our own law enforcement agents.
If people are undocumented and you don't know who they are, and then living in the shadows, how are you going to know they committed a crime? So of crimes that people are prosecuted for and you court the person, of them, you'll say not as many are undocumented. Maybe they're just good at running. I don't know. But we really don't know. Like most crimes in the U.S. go unsolved. So who really knows? That's a dumb argument. It doesn't prove anything. And frankly, it only takes somebody hurting my family one time. I don't give a shit who they are.
And this sets a dangerous precedent. CNN's own reporting has cited at least 3 incidents of people dressing as ICE agents and attempting to kidnap people. And once we say this is okay, because it's not going to stop until some white girl gets confiscated or some white girl gets kidnapped, then all of a sudden the lives of really...
What about you? What if they got your ass? What if they got you? But yes, but she's Latina. Come get her.
Matter, then we'll say, oh, it's a problem, but you've already told these agencies they can act like that. We've seen people kidnapped from hospital beds.
Kidnapped. Man, Scott, please get her on this kidnap BS. She got to stop using the terms kidnaps and concentration camps. Because if that's the case, they've been kidnapping black people forever in this country. This never stopped. You know, I can name a lot of times. I knew a lot of people that got picked up by cops and were detained. That happens. Happens all through my 20s and my early 30s. I'm just, I ain't hanging out with y'all no more. Time I turn around, the cops are trying to kidnap and detain us. They're trying to kidnap us and put us in concentration camps, Johnson. All right, so you can't say that because that's divisive to talk about your life experience.
We've seen mothers who are the sole caregivers for children's cancer get.
She got the same talking points. I've been hearing these talking points. There was a mom who was a cancer patient who was illegal, undocumented. She wanted to keep her child with her, didn't trust to leave the child. The child is a U.S. citizen. Child could have stayed, but she didn't want the child to stay here with the dad who was also a U.S. citizen. She wanted to take the child with her. And what does Tiffany call it? They deported it. U.S. citizen. Yeah, that's only because mom gets to make the decision, not the child. Scott, get her.
Kidnapped. It is not okay. It's like we're waiting for this administration to cross some invisible line into fascism that has been crossed a long time ago.
I think President Trump's goal and what he campaigned on and what he would like to achieve in an idealistic world is finding the people who are here illegally, especially the ones who are committing crimes or have committed crimes, whether in the United States of America or in their home countries, and eliminating them. He's a New Yorker, Donald Trump. We're in a kitchen. He knows who controls the kitchens in the back of the best restaurants in the city of New York. A lot of undocumented people. He has said on the record already that in the fields and in agriculture, we need a lot of these people. These people disappear, we're in trouble.
Why does Tiffany like she's about to cry? I mean, I'm trying to tell you, man, like there are these countries in Latin America, fam. There are many Latin American countries that are open for business, and they would really love to have you come be an activist there. That's what she should do. Her and Angela Rye, these people need to surely consider moving to one of these countries, Guatemala, Mexico, El Salvador, I don't know. Go to some of these countries and assist them. They could truly appreciate it. They really would. I'm pretty sure they would be very, very happy to have you be a champion for those people. Or you can stay here and help black people. You could do that, but I doubt you'd be about to cry. I doubt that. Because if you stayed here, you might have to help black men. And we know how you feel about black men, Tiffany. We know how you feel. Because you've had nothing but harsh words to say about them, unless it's Dr. Jason Johnson, the cuck of the month. Let's keep going here, Johnson. Yeah. Feeling kind of punchy. I told you guys we got 200,000 subscribers. So I'm feeling kind of, I'm smelling myself a little bit, feel a little loose. Let's listen to some more of the, I'm still waiting to see if Scott Jennings smack down some of this BS. This kidnapping and concentration camps and that everybody's being rounded up and kidnapped.
That back, I mean, they have walked some of that back. And I would also add that that's not what Trump is doing. He is arresting people. By some accounts, maybe more than half of the people that have been detained by ICE so far that have no criminal record.
Numbers that the government's putting out is 70% of the people that have been detained have had warrants or have been had charges. 70% is the number that I got. Now, I don't know the number when she got 50%, what jurisdiction, what city, what state she's talking about, but my number was 70. 70.
So that we know that that's happening. And just on the politics of this for a second, the Gallup had a pretty blockbuster poll today because they've been looking at this issue obviously for a very long time, and they have some comparative data. And what they have found is that Trump has not made immigration less popular. He's not made a pathway of citizenship less popular. He's made them more popular. So now 78% of Americans say they support a pathway to citizenship for immigrants who are here illegally. That's up 7 points from last year. Now, Americans say they want more immigration, not less immigration. Now, Americans say they want less border patrol agents, not more.
But is that legal immigration or illegal immigration?
What are you talking about?
It's a pathway to
hold on.
citizenship
Let
for
me read it
undocumented
again.
immigrants here.
70% back a year ago supported a pathway to citizenship for immigrants who are in the U.S. illegally. That number is now 78%.
But does that mean put them at the front of the line or the back of the line? Do they have to?
There ain't no line.
Hey,
There just ain't no line.
You can decide.
Because there are people trying to come here illegally. They came here illegally.
Hold on a second. You can decide whether it's the front of the line or the back of the line.
It matters.
I think, yeah, but the point is, Donald Trump is basically carrying out a policy that says any individual who is here illegally, in an undocumented status, is liable to be detained and deported. Some of them with process, some of them without. And a majority of Americans, almost 80%, say we should give them a path to citizenship.
Look, I think it depends on how you ask these questions.
I mean, this question has been asked the same way. That's the reason I want to use this poll, is because this question has been asked the same way over time. And that's one of the only ways that we can make sure that we're looking at the same thing over time.
But I think there's a difference between people who came here illegally, broke the law, knowingly did that, versus people who want to legally come here and are going through the process that does take a long time. I don't know why you would take a population that broke the laws and put them at the front instead of putting them behind people who are trying to follow the correct process. Regarding more immigration, I think most Americans are fine with immigration. Legal immigration, legal immigration, illegal immigration, and the chaos that's come from it from the last 4 years, that's what they have a problem.
Let me break down some of these numbers for you. We're doing focus groups in battleground states right now, asking this exact same question. What we're seeing almost overall is there's a group of folks who, when you ask them, do you think that undocumented immigrants who commit crime should be deported? And everybody, Democrats, independents, everybody's like, sure, as long as there's some process and they're here and they broke the law, absolutely. What they're really recoiling from and what you're seeing in this poll and I'm seeing in focus groups are Jose down the street who's been here for 20 years, or somebody that's picking your food, or somebody who did come here, quote unquote, undocumented or illegal.
I'm so tired of hearing about this picking the fruit shit. I'm so tired of hearing this trope that these people are just picking fruit. First of all, it's disrespectful as hell. Disrespectful as hell. Like people's main goal, their ambition in life is to come to America to pick fruit. Yeah, people travel miles and miles and miles and miles and miles to just become farm workers. I don't think so, Johnson. That's stupid. Could stay in Mexico and pick fruit. They got crops in Mexico. Stop saying that shit. Scott did a decent job. I'm against it. I'm against it because I'm advocating for Black Americans, and Black Americans do not need to compete against new immigrants who are they're overlooking Black Americans to employ new immigrants. That's a problem. I don't see how you advocate for Black America and advocate for that at the same time. There is not going to be a bargaining, a middle ground, nothing. Either or. People should have to be either or on that topic. It's fine to not be on that side. It's fine to to disagree. But don't pretend to be advocating for Black Americans. Say, I agree, you know, that you advocate for Latinos above Black Americans. Admit it, because that's what you're doing. Because if you're going to take money out of our communities to take care of undocumented people who were not born and raised in this country, that to me is a problem. You have made it very clear that that's more important to you than the plight of Black Americans. What's been going on with Black Americans? So just own it. If I can own my statement, if I can own my stance, why come y'all can't own your stance? Why y'all get to be pussyfooting around, act like you're the only one that has any moral? I do have morals, and those morals are to the most discriminated against group in this country that did not get casinos, that did not get employment health organization that prioritizes their health care like the Native Americans did. Okay, so I'm standing in the gap for Black Americans. People like Tiffany Cross in her podcast and her friends, they talk as if they're the chief advocates for Black Americans. But you can't be a chief advocate for Black Americans and support this immigration in the form that it is in now. You just can't. Just admit what you stand for, what you are for. That's all I'm saying. And I got no problem with that. Look, man, there are people out here trying to cure cancer. There's other people trying to cure dementia. We ain't got, you know what I'm saying? I get it. We ain't all got to support the same causes. But just admit you're not supporting the cause I'm supporting. I can admit I'm not supporting your cause. I got a problem with people that try to act like they are at the same time. You can't support McDonald's franchises and you can't support Kool-Aid with extra sugar and fighting diabetes at the same time. You just can't do it, Johnson. Can't do it. Got to be one or the other. It's either diet, it's either spring water, you know, or come on, Johnson. Come on now. We gonna call it thing and thing, or we gonna keep it real. You made your decision. Live with it. I can. I have.
Who they didn't say, I didn't sign up for this. And you don't see a giant movement. You see a movement over time now since the first of the year. A movement of about 10 points in the stuff that we're doing.
Well, I can say, man, Chuck made the right decision. I remember back when he used to go on Rising. He was less leaning into his Latino. He wasn't doing a Latino vote. Someone said, hey, you need to do a Latino vote. Get the votes. Get your money up. So I applied him on that, man. It's kind of bogus not to mention that was a marijuana farm the children were working at. But I also didn't know that children could work at those farms. I wonder what kind of children they're thinking that are working at those farms in California. Yeah. The bunny hole goes deep, don't it? Damn, they that cold-blooded, man. They made a law that you could be as young as 12 to work on the farms in California. I wonder what white kids, I wonder what well-to-do white kids, parents are allowing their 12-year-olds to go work in the farms in the sun. Just thought I'd throw that out there.